One, two,
three.
My name is Andre Kriegman.
And I am Cal Gabriel.
And we are the Army of Two.
Hello, and welcome to the 0-Day Iceberg video. You probably already know what an iceberg chart is, and you probably also know about 0-Day and have watched it. I don't want to waste time, so I'll briefly explain both. An iceberg chart is a sort of tier list, the more well-known topics being near the top, and more obscure topics going towards the bottom. 0-Day is a 2003 film based off of the Columbine massacre. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's just get into the first tier. Directed by Ben Cocchio. The movie 0-Day was directed by Ben Cocchio, an indie filmmaker. He came up with the idea for 0-Day while watching a report on the day of the Columbine High School massacre in 1999. I'll touch more on this later, as there's another entry that has more to do with this. Released alongside Elephant. Elephant was another movie partly based off of the Columbine massacre. As far as I know, the movies have no actual connection besides releasing in the same year and both being based off of the Columbine massacre. I'm insecure and I need attention. This line is probably the most iconic among 0-Day fans from the whole movie.
I'm insecure and I need attention.
Why is it popular, you may ask? I don't know. Everyone likes Cal, which is the character who says that. Characters have the same names as the actors playing them. Originally, in the script, the main characters' names were Avery and Thomas, Avery being Andre and Thomas being Cal. Ben had actually always planned to use the actors' real names instead of Avery and Thomas, saying that it would feel more authentic. Film is based on Columbine, so as I stated before, Ben came up with the idea for this movie while watching a report on the Columbine massacre, and he wanted to tell this kind of story from his perspective, wanting it to be different and not exploitative. He also found it interesting how Dylan and Eric had planned the attack out meticulously, unlike most other crimes, which were done in passion, somewhat randomly. Cocchio's theory on school shooters is that their actions don't necessarily have anything to do with them being bullied, but with the fact that they feel superior to others, but this opinion is not validated by others. Caldre. Caldre is the ship name of Andre and Cal. I will touch more on this later, but some fans believe that Andre and Cal were lovers in some kind of way, even though it isn't technically shown this way in the movie. And yes, there is 0-Day fanfiction. This is for the making of. In the making of footage of 0-Day, Cal repeats, "This is for the making of," multiple times.
I'm taping this for the making of 0-Day video.
For the making of, let me get all this damage. You know, it's funny, when they actually see this making of that we make, we're going to be talking about, is this for the making of? You know, when we actually put together the making of 0-Day, it's going to be just like a lot of things that we do, and then somebody's going to say, that would be good in the making of.
Braces scene was not scripted. Cal coincidentally just happened to have an appointment to get his braces taken off, so Ben films him and pretends to be a distant relative, filming it for memories. Ben does this a few times with Cal, actually, in the New Year's scene and the family vacation scene. However, in both of these scenes, Ben is not present. He just sent Cal to do these on his own. He does this to show time passing and to make the characters more relatable and realistic. No professional cameras actually used. Obviously, 0-Day is a found footage film, making the filming style good. Andre Keek states in a YouTube video that they essentially just went to Best Buy and got some cameras, and it was a unique concept at the time because it wasn't necessarily easy to just go and make your own movie. In the post-viewing commentary, Ben and Andre talk about having to go through all the physical tapes. Ben says that editing was actually quite fun for him. Andre is Jewish. I couldn't find one solid answer on this, but I have a few answers. The first reason is that apparently the actor for Andre is part Jewish himself. I couldn't find a source on that, so take it with a grain of salt. The other reason is that Andre says excluding Jewish holidays, but discussing what date they should set for 0-Day. Official website and false police report. There was a 0-Day website that gives a bit more information about the characters and the incident, and it is written up as if it's a police report. This was probably just done as a cool promotion for the movie. You can't just go and view it now, but you can technically see most of the pages using the Wayback Machine. I'll leave a link to it in the description. He's a natural selection. To explain this, I'll have to give a bit of context. In the movie, Andre asks his brother if he and Cal can go out and just shoot fruits and stuffed toys. Unbeknownst to his brother, Andre is just asking this because he wants him and Cal to get some experience in shooting before Zero Day. During this scene, while Cal makes a good shot, his brother calls Cal a natural. In response, Andre says natural selection.
He's a natural.
Natural selection.
This might be a reference to Eric Harris, who wore a shirt bearing this quote. This line is also used to show how Andre and Cal have ulterior motives in wanting to go on this trip, whereas his brother is just wanting to bond. Andre is meant to be Eric, Cal is meant to be Dylan Theory. I'm gonna be honest here and say that I don't really know that much about Columbine, but this is what I got from researching a little bit. Among people who extensively researched the Columbine massacre and Dylan and Eric, there's a common theory that Eric was a type of violent leader and Dylan was a more chill follower. Obviously, with Zero Day being inspired by the Columbine massacre, people are going to make comparisons. Cal is a more chill guy. He is shown to have a friend that isn't Andre and even go to prom. Andre, however, seems to be more of a leader, and he seems to be more confrontational and violent. It's worth noting that people do this with pretty much any duo that commits a crime together, so this conversation oftentimes is pointless and detracts from more important topics, in my opinion. Allegedly inspired real shootings afterwards. This is probably not directly true and just a true crime urban legend of sorts. I researched a lot of shootings and crimes after Zero Day's release and they don't get mentioned there. Obviously this movie is popular among the true crime community and sometimes people in this community can go out and commit crimes themselves, which might be where this is coming from. But I highly doubt this movie actually inspired anyone. Kriegman and Gabriel last name symbolism. Unfortunately, I couldn't find out what the last name Gabriel can mean, but Krieg in German means war. At least that's what Google Translate says. Character in limo scene later killed by Cal. There's a character in the limo scene who is in the shooting scene, and Cal kills him. Ben talks about this in the post-viewing commentary. Meaning behind Cal's poem. Ben states that Cal's poem doesn't necessarily have a meaning, and it's just something an edgy teenager would come up with that ultimately means nothing.
The gun would be the perfect weapon, he said, standing between a rock and a hard place. But a gun is nothing without a bullet, I replied. I am my bullets. I live my life along a perfect, parabolic arch of purpose, meaning. And then there was that time that you stepped on the landmine, and I never forgave you. And you could feel the entire rise and fall of the Third Reich at your feet. It's a wasted life. Thank you.
Don't you tell me what the fuck that was? Your phone.
Yeah, I know what it was, but can you tell me why you did it? What were you thinking? What the fuck?
Some fans have other theories though, one of them being that this poem was a warning to people to see if anyone would intervene. Real childhood home movies used in film. At the beginning of the movie, 2 home movies are shown of Cal and Andre when they were younger. These were actual videos, and Ben even states that he liked the video he used for Cal because he looks a little bit evil. Movie mistaken for actual footage. People have genuinely thought that the shooting scene in the movie was real or was footage from Columbine, and both of these observations are obviously incorrect. Ben Cochio's girlfriend wrote the note Andre gets in 8th grade. In the post-viewing commentary, Ben Cochio talks about how during the bonfire scene, Andre goes to burn a note given to him by a girl in 8th grade. The note was inspired by a real note that Ben received himself at this age, but he couldn't find it, so he had his girlfriend recreate it. Book Cal references in behind-the-scenes footage is lost media. In the behind-the-scenes footage, there is a clip where Cal is explaining to Andre a book he read.
This is like that part in that alien book where the aliens abduct the soldiers and they take them to this place, and so they think it's heaven because it's all their like these houses and they resemble it to be like Earth, and they go in and they find like their families in there. They're like, oh damn it, we must have died and we're all in heaven now, and then they end up all eating them.
I have never heard of that ever.
At first watch, it's just funny and weird, but whenever this clip is posted, people cannot figure out what book Cal is talking about, leading people to believe it is lost media. Happy face self-harm scar. In a certain scene in the movie, fans have pointed out a smiley face on Cal's hand, leading some people to believe it was self-inflicted. Others think it might have been done with a red pen. My question is, what do you think he did? Clear relationship purposefully left up to interpretation. In a newspaper article, Ben talks about how he might have given Cal and Andre implied tension and romantic attraction, but he decided to leave it out because the movie might have taken an entirely different path and could have failed at accomplishing its goal. Test screening footage. There's some test screening footage on YouTube from this movie. In this footage, Andre and Cal are acting out a scene they would later re-record. I'll include a little clip from it here.
I mean, I used to go to school, and they would make fun of me because my shirt was from fucking JCPenney, because it wasn't the most stylish shirt. They called me a faggot because I got my shirt at JCPenney. Was it my fault? Was my mom's fault that I didn't get the most stylish shirt? No. They still make fun of me. It's just a fucking shirt.
Swastika symbol burning. In the pipe bomb making scene, Andre and Cal are burning up a type of gunpowder, and Ben directed them to put the gunpowder in a swastika symbol and burn it. Andre was a guest doing this because he thought it was too random and too weird to just include randomly, but Ben thought it should be included because teenagers often mess around with offensive symbols. Z Eliminator Jr. by Sonic Youth used. This song was used in the intro of Zero Day. I also used it in the intro of this video, if you noticed. Iroquois High School real location. In the movie, the name of the high school is said to be Iroquois High School. For the exterior, they shot at New Milford High School in Connecticut. They weren't technically allowed to film there because they were denied permission, but they decided to go and do it anyway, and it was actually one of the last scenes filmed for the movie. For the interior, they shot at the State University of New York at Purchase, in Purchase, New York. Explicit fanfiction. As I stated before, there is zero-day fanfiction, mainly on the website AO3. I don't think I should go in depth on this. Gained popularity on TCC Tumblr in the 2010s. This movie is popular amongst the true crime community, and it gained a boost of popularity in the 2010s. Mostly seem to be people simping for Andre and Cal, but I wouldn't know, cause I wasn't there. Making of the crossage footage. Ben made the crosses himself and threw them away after filming, except for the nameplates on Kyle and Andre's crosses, which he kept. Post-viewing commentary. Ben had applied for multiple film festivals, and at one he was given the chance to make a few DVDs of the movie for free. This meant he also got to include the making of footage and the post-viewing commentary, which is where I got a lot of this information from. Definitely give it and the making of footage a watch. They're both on YouTube. Movie takes place over 10 months, but only filmed for one summer. The filming of Zero Day took place between July and September, but in the movie it takes place between September to May. The movie specifically made to not take place after 9/11. Honestly, I couldn't find anything on this. I don't even really know what the reason could be, so I couldn't even give you an answer, but if I find out, I'll probably put it up on the screen. And if not, then sorry. There are two topics in Tier 6 that I have no idea about, which are Lord of the Flies book being burned is symbolic and victims in the movie loosely based off of real victims. I contacted the maker of this Iceberg, so maybe if they respond, I'll actually talk about it, but I don't know, sorry. Unseen 48 hours of footage. There was a lot of footage from Zero Day we never saw and probably will never get to see. It doesn't necessarily make it lost media, I would assume Ben has it. It might be worthwhile to ask him if he can upload some of this footage, but he's not active on Twitter and I don't really know any other way to contact him. Ben actually talks about some of these scenes that were never shown in the post-viewing commentary. There's also a photo of Cal that is likely from one of these unseen videos, which I will put up for your viewing pleasure. Tributes. Probably another true crime community urban legend. I have not actually heard of a single case of someone doing this, and I doubt it actually happened. Maybe just an edgy teenager rambling on after watching the movie once. If I'm wrong, I'm probably going to sound extremely insensitive, but can you blame me? It sounds kind of ridiculous. Wow, you got through the whole video. I'm so proud of you. Besides that, I want to say first that if I miss anything or you want to add on to anything I said, feel free to comment. I will be reading the comments. Also, thank you for watching. This is one of my first proper YouTube videos, so it might be a bit rough around the edges, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you want me to do a video on any other topic, then feel free to comment. I'd be down to research something else. Okay, I think that's it. Stay safe and drink water, or else I'll come find you.